Okay, guys, welcome back. I'm going to shoot a quick video here just in case something happens to my internet. I've been having a lot of internet problems here at the house. Use a lot of bandwidth. But anyway, hope you had a nice Thanksgiving, and we have a couple weeks, so let's finish strong. We're looking at the unit review, and then we're looking at a test tomorrow, which is Wednesday. So I'm going to go through about 10 questions with you just to kind of get you rolling, but I'll do this live if my internet's fine. But anyway, you earn $45 mowing the neighbor's yard. So if you earn it, it's just 45. And let's label that in money, right? Dollars. Number 5, a scuba diver is 40 feet below sea level. When you're below, that integer is going to be a negative. All right, negative 40. All right. All right, let's slide down to number 8. Number 8. And I'll pull that up a little bit. Mark and Isabel make a deposit of $35. Okay, deposit is plus, and a withdrawal is negative of $35 from the same account. Describe what zero represents in this situation. Okay, so if we wrote this down like so, here would be zero, right? $0. And over here would be plus $35. And then back here somewhere would be about negative 35. Okay. So in this case, what zero represents is no change, right? Right. In the account. Right? So you didn't pay any, you didn't, and there's my negative, and you didn't get any. You didn't deposit, you didn't withdraw. So no change in the account. Okay. All right, let's flip over here and take a look at number 10. Number 10 is a little bit more involved, right? But we're okay. Let me check my camera here to see we're all right. Good. All right, order the numbers on the number line, okay? Order the following numbers on the number line. All right, no problem. So it doesn't say, it just says we have percents, we have decimals, we have impropers, we have mixed, and so on. So what I'm going to do is grab my calculator, and I'm going to change these two fractions or mixed numbers or impropers, however you want to say it, to decimals. That's going to help me, okay? So I'm going to start with 25 n over d, 5. Well, 25 over 5, most of you know that, right, is 5. So underneath that, I'm just going to write a 5, okay? And then negative 3 1/4. Well, I know 1/4 is 25 cents, so that's pretty easy. I don't even need my calculator for that. Okay. The last one might be this 150%, right? And if you remember, to take a percent to a decimal, we just move that decimal 2 to the left. So we can write it like so. Okay. So now just number them on the number line. 1 5/10. Right there would be letter A. B, 3 2/10. So you just kind of got to guesstimate where 3 2/10, but that would be B. C is 5, so I'm going to come up to 5, put a dot, and put a letter C. D is negative 3 2/2500. Well, here's 3 1/2. Sorry, here's 3 1/2. I'm going to come a little bit less than that. And that's letter D. And then finally, E is negative 6 5/10. So between 6 and 7, right in the middle is negative 6 5/10. And that's letter E. Letter E. Okay. Let's slide down to number 12. We've got a nice pace going. Let me make sure we're okay here. There we are. And let's get it. Okay. So number 12, an eye doctor keeps his contact lenses ordered from least to greatest in prescription strength. He has prescriptions of, and I'm not going to read all those. In what order should the lenses be? So again, we went least to greatest. And again, you have to underline, circle, highlight, do what you need to do there. All right. But when we have these, all right, when you have a lot of decimals, a lot of times it's just easier to list them vertically and then compare them, all right, from least to greatest, right? All right, well, in this case, I know that I have a couple negatives here, right? So I'm going to deal with the negatives first and then just kind of go from there. But remember, the bigger the negative, the smaller it is. And right here's another negative. Let's make sure we have them all. So the biggest negative is right here, negative 2 5/10. I'm going to draw a line to separate and cross that off. The next biggest negative is negative 2 and 25 hundredths right there. And then now we have a kind of a dilemma. What's bigger? 1.5. 1.5 is bigger than 1.2, and it's a negative, so it's still smaller. We want least to greatest, right? And then certainly 1 and 25 hundredths, and that's a negative. Now, we're just looking at these positives. Now we're just going to deal with regular numbers. Well, 25 hundredths is the next one. 25 hundredths, and I'm just going to come down here and finish it, okay? And 5 tenths, right? 5 tenths would be next, and then finally 1 and 25 hundredths. So that kind of takes us through there, least to greatest. I've used all of my numbers. I'm in good shape. Okay. All right, so that takes us through the second page. Let's go to the third page here and get a couple problems here just to kind of kickstart you here and understand this. So we're good. Let me check my paper. We're in good shape. Okay. Let's start with number 20. All right. It says, I can understand absolute value. All right. And in this case, the absolute value of x is equal to 5, 6. Well, in this case, we have two answers because the absolute value of negative 5, 6 is 5, 6. And the absolute value of 5, 6 is 5, 6 as well, right? Okay. Next one is number 24. So we want to write two statements of inequality. So we want to make sure we're using our less than, our greater than, and our equal to signs, right? Okay, so let's take a look at this. Negative 3 and 5 tenths, that's what that is less than 2, or 2 is greater than negative 3 and 5 tenths, right? Okay. And let me slide down and make sure you can see the last one that I want to just talk about in my video this morning. It's always good to get these going here just a little bit there. I'll move that up. Determine the inequality sign, graph both points, and then describe their relationship, okay, in relation to each other. Okay, so first off, let's get our inequality. First thing I'm going to do is take this. Okay, I know this is negative 1.5. I'm going to take that to a decimal. So I'm going to grab my calculator, turn it on, and put 5 over 3 in and change that to a decimal. And we will see that's 1 6/10 repeating, right? So that's a negative. So when I get a 1 6/10, we would write that way. Okay, so clearly, the bigger the negative, the smaller it is. So this is going to be greater than that. Okay, so now let's graph these on the number line, right? Here's 0. Here's negative 1. Here's negative 2. Here's negative 3, if we think about that. So negative 1.5 would be right here. Okay. And negative 1 6/10, well, that's going to be, guess what? That's going to be right next to it right there. So there's this 1.5, negative 1 6/10 repeating, or negative 5/3 is right there. Okay. So anyway, just wanted to get you started there. Finish the packet for homework. We have a test tomorrow, and you should be good to go. All right. All right, guys. Thanks.